Hello everyone, my name is Deanne Bond and I serve as your division secretary. And right now I am about to show you how to fill in and how to send in your MRF. One of the first tabs you fill out when you come into term is the Task 1 tab. It's all very straightforward. These are just like information of your club and your officers, your advisors, and this will be filled out at the end of the year, and you put whether or not you have these social media platforms. The next tab you would fill out would be the Club Roster Directory tab. This is a tab that contains the contact information of members and your advisors. In the beginning of the year, you would use the past MRF to fill this out, and once club dues are turned in, you would take their information and input them in this tab. The next tab would be the Service Record tab. This is the tab that records all the members' hours, and on this part I'll be using my past MRF. So at the top you would put the name of the event, and under that would be the date of the event. Under that would be the total amount of hours served in that one event. On the left would be the names of your members, and to the right of that would be whether if they paid their club dues or not. And I did find an efficient way to take down hours when the service record tab would get long where you couldn't see their name anymore. So what you would do, you would insert a column, fill out the event name, the date, and the amount of hours, and then you would select the column and drag it all the way to the back. I found this way more efficient than going all the way down, looking for the name, going all the way right to whatever event it was in. The next tab would be the Member Recognition Program. This is where we put the amount of times they went to a certain type of event. So say I attended a DCM, and then I would mark it as 1, and then I attended Kiwani's one day. I would mark this one as 1, and then on the right side you mark whether they are a club committee member or division or district committee member if they hold a leadership position. The next tab is another tab that you should have filled out in the beginning of your term. It's basically the information of the officers and advisors. Moving on to the next tab, this is your monthly tab. This is a tab that you update monthly. It's basically an overview of what you did throughout the month. So on the left would be your general meeting dates, and underneath it would be the number of members present, and underneath it is if you had any guests that came to your meeting. Underneath that is the dates of your board meeting and whether your officers were present or not. And on the right side is LTV communications this month. You always mark it all methods. Underneath that is whether you had a DCM, and you mark the amount of members that attended, and the same with the rest underneath it. So underneath that would be whether there were any training events, and you mark whether an officer went or whether a member went. Underneath that are the special events. Whether you had a club or division banquet, you mark the number of members present and whether an advisor attended. So for the member relations column, you would mark whether any newsletters were issued or if there were like meetings held during spring break, And for reports, whether you updated the new officer's information, or whether you updated the club directory. And for the last one, whether articles were submitted to the division or CNH, you have to ask your news editor whether they turn in their newsletters to the division or the CNH. This is the project section. This is where you would put the title of the project, the total number of hours, and the total number of members, and you would mark it in a category. And if it were a fundraiser, you'd mark it as a fundraiser, and how much money you raised for service and how much money you raised for the clubs, and the amount of money you spent to host the fundraiser. Here is the club snapshot. This is basically a summary of your achievements or any future events you want or planning to plan in, or your members of the month. It's basically a summary of the month. Underneath it are the names of the projects. If you were to put an event, we'd mark it as an event down here. Your chair would be the person that signed your club up for the event, and then underneath it you would put a little brief description of what the members did at the event, and if funds were raised, it would put how much money was raised. The next tab is the annual report tab. You don't really fill this out at all other than marking this as desk, but it will fill out itself using the other tabs, and at the bottom right it will tell you your score for your MRF. The next tab is the project list tab. It's basically just a list of the events you attended, and you would fill it out by month. So you would put the name of the event and the number of members that attended and the total amount of hours served. You would order this from the highest number of hours to the lowest number of hours. Next, I will be teaching you how to send in the MRF. So first, your subject would be your school name, this line, and the month, and then MRF. So when you do send it to them, you would do the division secretary's email and the LTD's email, and then you would CC it to everyone else that you need to send it to, such as our region advisor, your club advisor, your sponsoring club, the MRC, and your president, and then you would click send. If you do get an email back of what to fix, just remember that after you fix it, you have to resend it to them again.